Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advanced. This is, one of the most amazing games of Richard Rapport you'll ever see. Well, welcome to Richard Rapport's Immortal. Hey, this game happened in European Club Cup and he's actually facing and his name is Collin Colbow, and really a beautiful game. You're really not gonna, really not even gonna take your eyes off this game. This is a beautiful game by Richard Rapport. I'm not going to keep you waiting for so long, so without further ado, let's start with this game. Here, Collin goes for e4 with the white pieces, and here's c5 by Richard. Now just comes this knight to f3, e6, and here just going for d4. We have c captures, knight captures, and now just going for a6. We are into the Khan variation of the Sicilian. Here, just bishop to d3. Now we have bishop to c5, just challenging that knight, knight to b3, attacking the bishop, bishop to a7, and just castles was played in this position. And now just going for this knight to e7, just developing the piece. And here you could choose to go for c4 immediately in this position. After castles, you play bishop to f4, just develop the pieces. d6 now. You don't want to go all the way, obviously, because a lot of trades will happen. You don't want to allow that because you just give space to white. Definitely, you don't want to do that. So here, just rook to e1, and after e5, you play this bishop to e3, bishop captures on e3, rook captures, and here just going for knight to c6, knight to c3, and here after f5 you play e captures on f5, knight captures, rook to f3, and you can just develop the bishop to e6. Your position will be absolutely fine. You connect the rooks, you get the queen somewhere where it would be useful, and your game just goes on without any trouble. And definitely white is the one better here, but just a little bit. That's just the opening advantage because of the first tempo that white gets. Other than that, nothing usual. But here after knight to e7, here queen to e2 was played. Now just comes this knight to c6, bishop to e3, and just castles in this position, and just going for this bishop caps on a7. Finally, just trading rook captures, and c4 was played finally. But here just going for this knight to e5, just challenging this bishop. Will you want to actually give up the bishop in this position, or you have something else in mind? Well, here he just goes for queen to e3, just challenges the rook, and now saying, well, you want to capture it, why not just be my guest, just capture it. And here Richard Rapport does exactly that. He goes for this knight captures on d3. He gives up a complete rook first in this position, and what happens if you capture that? What happens, well, if you don't? Well, the thing is that here in this position you could choose to go for a very beautiful line that starts with knight to c3. Yes, not capturing either of the pieces, because the thing is that you can choose to ignore it, because the thing is that you cannot move two pieces at the same time. I'm going to capture either one of them, but here the thing is that knight caps on b2 will be played, queen caps on a7, knight caps on c4, and after this queen to d4, just challenging that knight, you play queen to c7, just calm defending move. And here rook f to c1, you play b5, just strengthening the position of the knight. a4, challenging those pawns, knight to c6, attacking the queen, queen to c5, knight to b2 here, and now just going for queen to e3, just knight to c4, queen to c5. Most likely what's going to happen is you can play d6 in this position and your position will be absolutely fine. But after this knight caps on d3, here queen captures on a7 was played. Did Collin just fall into the bait that Richard Rapport offered him? Well, because in this position Rapport goes for brilliant move number one. He goes for b6, and now what do you do in this position? You have to be really careful not to fall for the bait, because the thing is that the move that you want to play in this position is maybe knight to d4, and knight to d4 really could save you here. But the thing is that he goes for queen to b8, and queen to b8 is not a good move. Engine does not like it at all. But the thing is that here a brilliant move again he goes for, which is d6. Why are these brilliant moves? What does b6 and d6 give you? Well, the thing is that your queen is, well, technically speaking, it's trapped. You're not giving it way to get out of this position, and now you've captured it. And what do you do in this position? It's very difficult to get the queen out. That's the problem. And if you're able to get the queen out, your position is even better. But the thing is that how do you do that? It's not possible. And the move that you want to play in this position to try and survive is again knight to d4, and it's not at all a difficult move to spot. Well, the thing is that after knight caps on b2, just grabbing those ones, as usual, as I showed you in a different line, you play this knight to d2, knight e5 even, attacking that piece. But after this knight to f5, you play this knight caps on f5, rook f to b1 first, attacking that rook, and also developing that piece, and also you'll be able to actually capture this pawn once the knight moves. Well, but will it? Because knight to a4 actually defends both of those things. But here e caps on f5, and after bishop captures, the thing is that your position is fine somewhere along the line. You can just trade queens, position will be fine, no more issues. But the thing is that, hey, you are technically speaking up the exchange, but the thing is that white has like roughly 5 pawns and black has on top of that 7 pawns. So definitely something for the sacrifice exchange. Even if you trade queens in this position, your position is still going to be fine. But the thing is that here after d6, he did the mistake of actually going for e5, just challenging that, and now you're in a lot of trouble. You're in a world of pain. There is nothing that you can do. Now just comes this knight captures on e5, and here what do? You've given a pawn for basically free here. Nothing else matters. The tempo wastage on top of that, and now how do you actually get out of this cage that black has successfully created this for you? Well, the thing is that here rook to d1 was played, trying to still go after that pawn, but now just comes this knight to f5, a beautiful move in this position. There is nothing you can do now. Queen is going to be suffering here for a long time. Queen to a8 was played, trying to get out of it, but you've just given me so many tempos. My pieces have been developed. I can just go and start an attack in this position, but here first queen to e7, just not allowing the queen to leave, but queen to e4 nonetheless. But here just comes this bishop to b7. Now that comes with an attack, and that was the idea all along. Knight in the center, queen coming in next, bishop is already on that diagonal, an attack is brewing, and it's not going to be the white who's the one attacking. And here if you go for queen to e2, maybe would have been better. I mean, the move that white actually played was a different one, but the thing is that queen to e2 would have been maybe fine. After queen to g5, you play f4, queen caps on f1, and after this rook to f1, you play this queen to h6, knight 1 to d2. You get some development in, but the trouble is knight to e3 comes, and now what do? You're gonna have to sack the exchange because you don't have much in this position. I'm also targeting this, and if you give me some luxury to be able to capture that, I won't capture the pawn, but I might just capture the rook. If you go for g3 in this position, knight caps on f1, rook captures, maybe you can survive. I mean, it's a +4 position. It's really difficult to try and do anything here. But after bishop to b7, queen to f4 was played, and unfortunately it's much worse now. Here knight to g6 was played. Now just comes queen to c1, and he's just going for knight f to g h4, f3, and wait, where are you going? Because the thing is that the fun is just about to begin. Here queen to f6 was played. Now just comes queen to e3, and now there's a brilliant move number 4 that's playing in this position. It's a beautiful move. He goes for knight captures on g2, and that's a double exclamation move. There is not much you can do now. If you go for king captures, well, say goodbye to the game, because comes bishop caps on f3, a beautiful move. You're gonna have to sack the queen here. Queen captures, knight to h4, and now after king to f2, you play queen caps on f3, and you can just choose to resign here, because the next move here, either rook falls, or if you decide to go here, your position just completely collapses. But after this, here queen to d4 was played, asking for a trade, but now it's a bit too late. Now just comes queen to g5, not even bothered to go for a trade. King to f2 was played, but now just comes this knight to f4, and it was on this move, on just move 24. Yes, you heard me right, on just move 24. Here Collin Colbow resigned the game, and Richard Rapport created this masterpiece attacking game. Really, his Immortal winning this game in 24 moves is an absolutely spectacle to watch. And yeah, I mean, one of the most amazing games that he's ever played. Really kudos to him for creating this masterpiece. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be coming back with some of these amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.